Hello, today I wanted to make a quick video of my ownership experience of my Santa Cruz bicycle after 7 years. 4,338 miles on my Santa Cruz High Tower. This is the C grade carbon frame. As you all probably know, the Santa Cruz bikes come with the lifetime frame warranty and lifetime bearing replacement. I've replaced the bearings on my bike 2 times in the 7 year period, and they were both for bearings that actually broke. The first time, it was the bearings in the lower linkage here, which was not a problem with Santa Cruz really. The 3 bolt that holds the linkage and everything together would come loose often in the early years of my ownership, and I could never get it figured out. And because the 3 axles or 3 bolts came loose, it allowed play in the bearings and caused the lower bearings to break. So after honestly like 2 years or so of this happening, I realized that you needed to use Loctite on the threads of all the pivot bolts, and once I did that, they stopped coming loose. Then the second time was actually at the beginning of this year. The bearing at the top here had also completely disintegrated, and it was also because of the wear and tear that had happened earlier in my ownership of the bike. So I got a full bearing kit from Santa Cruz. It was super easy, just emailed them and they sent them right out. What I'd like to talk about is the one of the positive parts of the Santa Cruz bicycles is they come with the threaded bottom bracket. And over the 7 years that I've owned this bike, I've also replaced the bottom bracket twice. And that was just normal, it wearing out. But just the bikes coming with a threaded bottom bracket is great because it's easy to replace at home. Another positive of the Santa Cruz frames is the internal tube-in-tube routing. In 7 years of ownership, you have to replace your shifting cables and dropper post cable a few times, and having the tube-in-tube routing made it easy to switch those cables out at home. Just pop the cable in at the beginning and it does come out at the end. I'm going to include some pictures and video of the little scrapes and things to the paint of the bike, just to kind of document that the paint isn't perfect, or I'm not blaming that on Santa Cruz either. Just the paint on any bike will show wear over time, just to document that and allow you guys to see that. Honestly, within the first month of me buying the bike, over a rock roll, I scraped the bottom of the frame here all the way down to the carbon, um, which looked a little scary. I sent that picture to Santa Cruz and they said it would be okay, and I've continued to ride the bike all these years without any problem. Now to talk about some of the things I don't really like about the design of the Santa Cruz High Tower V1. Pedal feedback you get. Mainly the pedal feedback is because they designed the suspension layout with a good amount of anti-squat, which is great for smooth trails because it means the suspension kind of stiffens up under pedaling and transfers your energy through the pedals, not wasted in suspension movement. But of course, the downside of that is on rougher trails when you're pedaling, or even when you're not pedaling on this particular version of the bike. you get lots of pedal feedback, and it just feels like you're losing your momentum over square edge hits and things like that. The suspension really does hang up. But pedal feedback and anti-squat isn't all a bad thing. It's also good because, once again, like I said, on smoother trails this bike really does pedal well. And if you just have a lot of pedaling, which, I mean, honestly, the trails I ride, you do like 70% pedaling, so it helps with that. Another feature I don't really love about the V1 frame is the low stack height. With me being 6'2", this is the extra large frame, and I got this before they came out with that double extra large frame. As you can see, I have to run a good amount of spacers underneath the stem to get the bar height up high enough to where it's comfortable for me. So that's just one other downside that I don't like about the V1 frame. In conclusion, the Santa Cruz ownership experience has been great in my opinion. I really had no problems with the frame itself. I feel like it's a great quality frame that has lasted and is still good to ride even today. So please don't hesitate in getting a Santa Cruz bicycle if that's something that you're looking at. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you wish to see more videos.